The following is a transcript between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I am, originally produced on January 3rd, 2021, under the constellation of Capricorn in the mental week, examining through the throat chakra. Me. We are music. I am. Each particle of your body and all of existence is vibrating like a string of a piano, a guitar, a harp. Each particle with a different vibration, tuned in different notes, more serious and more acute, but all together they make the music of silence. Me, the silence. I am. It is the unity of all sounds, a vibration that do not move other particles. Me, how so? I am. Drop something on the ground, clap your hands, speak of or sing. In all of these sounds, there is something in common, the friction of atoms. When the atoms are arranged in molecules, the resonant particles remain stable and in saving mode, without entering into a reaction with the dissonant particles. But when you face them, the magnetic collapse between them generates a vibrational reaction of repulsion between the structures, which drives the molecules in the environment to move quickly, and this gives the sensation of sound. For this reason, vibration is not the same as sound, because when something vibrates in a vacuum, it cannot emit any sound, since it was born from the impulse due to the friction in space full of other particles that lead it like an echo, a wave. Me. Now I understand, because many times I've asked myself, how can vibration come first if things don't sound by themselves? It was confusing vibration with sound. I am. The third law of the universal principle that we can rescue from correspondence is the law of vibration. Me. In the universe, everything vibrates. I am. The universe is a great orchestra, without gases like air that conduct the sounds of the vibration of the instruments. Me. That is the sound of silence. It is the sound of all of the instruments vibrating without being heard. I am the most beautiful melody that can only be heard in the silence of meditation. The music that sounds inside, that cannot be transmitted, but only felt. Me. And what does the law of vibration imply? I am. When the dreamy mind sees everything it is capable of and launches itself in search of manifestation, it projects itself through the first pattern that we will call the polar axis, creating the external from the internal, which are they correspond to each other. Both are living intentions of the mind in constant transformation and expansion, and therefore they move without ceasing. One drives the movement of the other, and they feed back with its constant fluctuation. This agitation of the idea that drives its projected idea is what in Latin is called vibrio, I shake. Thus vibration, vibrato, refers to the action of making something move, tremble, or shake. Therefore, vibration is the agitation produced in the positive and negative interaction of two ideas, emotions, or objects. Thus, from the moment of the first idea was projected, the vibration would mark the continuity of existence through movement. Me. Everything, even if it seems static, is in motion because its particles are moving at great speed like electrons around protons, which is impossible to see how fast they move, even things that seem the most still, like objects of a house, a table, glass. I am. Everything vibrates because everything is a projection, and an interaction between projections mobilizes the others around it. The formation of patterns, molecular structures, which seem to create immovable fixed elements, only saves the expense of movement energy through a low vibration, while what moves, such as organic life, has a greater capacity for vibration at high frequencies. Me. Frequencies are what determine how low or high something vibrates. I am. They are the mechanism by which the different states of movement occur. As we have discussed, vibration describes the movement of space, and frequency is the capture of time on that space. A being that saves energy, that saves itself, that closes itself, that rests on energy accumulation, will have fewer transformation processes because its structure is too rigid. So, the process of it can last for extended periods of time, making the frequency wave much longer and therefore lower. A being that moves, that is constantly transforming, will vibrate so fast that the frequency wave will be much shorter and more consecutive, which makes for a high vibration. Me. So it's good to vibrate high and to have high frequency. I am. No. Me. But we're talking about it all the time, about raising the vibration and raising the frequency. What does this mean? I am. It means that you are too stuck in rigid systems that need transformation from a positive and transcendental consciousness. Me. Let's go in parts. What systems? I am. Systems of oppression, of family, of governments, of beliefs, of survival, in the slavery of the essence that you are living. For thousands of years, the forms that have transformed, but the essence, have not been discovered. For this reason, they repeat the same thing: control, domination, manipulation. From a king to a president, from a mother to a religion. Me. What transformation do we need? I am. The last 100 years have gone very well in that transformation. However, it has not been from consciousness, but from the reaction thanks to the two great world wars. It is necessary that the same be done from the active consciousness and not from the reactive unconscious. This is what really raises the frequency and changes the vibration, freeing you from a repetitive system. Me. In other words, a positive and transcendental consciousness refers to the fact that in order for there to really be an essential change and not of forms, we cannot pretend to create a new revolution from the unconscious reaction, destroying the previous one as we always do, but rather from taking consciousness. We must transcend the system to another higher level by changing our perspective of it. I am. That's right. And that's done by raising the frequency. Let's go to a simple example. Imagine that you are looking to get to a town in the mountains, but you've gotten lost and you cannot figure out how to get there. What do you do to know where you're going? Me. I would have to look for landmarks that serve as a guide so I don't get lost. I am. And if you don't have a map, how do you plot those landmarks? Me. Going to some high point where I can contemplate the whole landscape and map it? I am. Climbing to the highest point you can find, from which you can even see the town behind the hills and the general terrain to know how to get there, identifying key points. Me. That would be raising the vibration toward the positive, observing everything from above, changing my point of view of things? I am. But remember that your objective was to reach the town that is in the valley. So what's the next step? Me. Go back down? I am. So is. If what you are looking for is to reach your destination, raising your vibration and frequency without ever stopping will only make you stay on top of the mountain, but you will never reach the town. Going up high is useful in moments when you get lost, when you need to clarify yourself, seek guidance, understanding, or clarity. But the path continues, and it will not always be at the top, but when you go back down, you will have the notion of a terrain, and you will be able to move much better. As you can see, raising the vibration does not make you leave the landscape, the terrain, the existence in which you live. It only will make you see it with different eyes. Me. It's what we talk about dimensions. To be lost in the third is to complain about the roads and the rocks that you stumble upon. The effort to climb the mountain is between the third and the fourth dimensions. But when you reach the top and see everything, you are in the fifth dimension. In reality, the world did not change, only the dimension from the moment you observed it did. I am, well, by correspondence, what is outside has the color of what is inside, and by the same law, what you see outside is what vibrates with you inside, what vibrates in you. Me, it vibrates me or it doesn't vibrate me, we usually say. I am, that it vibrates or not vibrates does not imply that it is true or false, but simply that it is not in the same vibration. Whoever loves classical music may hate heavy metal music, and whoever loves indie music may not vibrate with pop music. Yet, one genre of music is not better than the other. It just is. And there will be some who vibrate happily in tune when others feel the worst of emotions. Me, my friend loves heavy metal, and when I stay at her house, I would watch her fall asleep while smiling, listening to groups that for me were devilish noises. It was a perfect description that there is no high or low vibration comparable to good or bad, but rather each one adjusts to what you need. I am, while for you, a gourmet dish may be the best option for a good Sunday, a fly delights in a piece of fecal matter, shit, on any street corner. And that is perfect, because after you've eaten happily, you will give a good plate to the flies. Me, that's pretty descriptive. I am, but real. So, it is that you cannot judge the vibration between high and low. It is like saying that white is good and black is bad. The task of raising the vibration in these times refers to leaving this system from the fifth dimensional consciousness, but not to live eternally there, but to be able to continue advancing, like the waves of the sea which rise and fall. And in moments of evolution and revolution, they crash against the shores, creating sounds over and over again, echoing. Me, we talk a lot about resonance in the law of vibration. You told me that the sounds are basically the noisy reaction that is produced by the echoing pulse of the particles interacting by friction. So what is resonance? I am, in matter from the first particle that interacted with the other, the possibility of echo began to exist, and therefore of sound. Sonar is the action of producing noise, a son, sonus. When the friction between some particles emit the musical sound, it rubs against the other particles, making them react, also emitting a similar echo. Thus the sound returns, what in Latin you call resonance. That is to resonate. Resonance is the vibrational responsiveness between objects or subjects. Me, in other words, when something resonates with me, it is not because there is a truth outside, but because the truth was inside me and I could hear it outside. I am, that's right. The resonance works like a tuning fork, in that if you hit one of the sides of the fork the same when vibrating with the intensity, it will cause a sound that will impel the other in front of it to do the same, returning the sound, resonating. This is what happens with everything in life, with ideas, emotions, words, music, art, philosophies, religions, everything that makes you feel good, whether you encounter in life, what you see of life, what you feel, what you create, everything you can perceive from the outside world resonates with you. And this can be negative or positive, because a person who only sees the negative of things all the time is because their frequency is low. Me. To see another reality, I must transform my own vibration. I am, retune you. Enter a new tune, like on a radio. The law of vibration reminds us that everything vibrates and that we vibrate too, and therefore we attract into our lives everything that resonates with us. Therefore, if we seek to transform the world, we should not start with forms, but with harmony, with our own harmony. Only then will we discover the other options that were within us. Me. It is the creative power of thought and word, the manifestation through sound. I am. You are sound. You are music. Play the instrument that you are. Learn to use the instrument that you own in this orchestra. Discover your notes. Integrate your chords and make your music, and the world will respond. Me. I am vibration. I am resonance. Me. I am music. I am the silence.